What's going on, guys? Hope everybody had a great day. Forgive me if I sound a little under the weather. I'm not feeling too great, but I wanted to update you guys with a little bit of information. I emailed Bitmart, this morning, or sometime today, and said, my name is Joe. Hope you're having a great day. I'm looking for a little bit of info on show payment listing situation. Why didn't they list today? Is it a problem with liquidity or something else? I'm looking for specifics more than anything. I told him, I invested a decent amount, blah, 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 trying to get to the bottom of things. And what are the chances that you pull the listing, from your exchange? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And they emailed back with, you know, of course, some generic email. Dear user, thank you for reaching out to Bitmart. Kindly refer to the link, which is the link that you and I and everybody else has seen, basically telling us that they're going to delay trading. And unfortunately, we are not able to establish exact timing or date. So stay tuned for our official announcement. So I emailed back because to me, that just wasn't acceptable. I said, I understand the delay part. That's easy. I'm wondering if you're at liberty to provide additional information as to why things are delayed. Was it requested by the project's team? Did show payment request that it be, delayed? Or was it due to a lack of paperwork or liquidity on their end, and Bitmart wasn't, allowing them to list? I said, I understand there are quite a few reasons for delay. I'm just asking, for a couple specifics. Thank you so much. And let me see. This is what I got. We are unable to provide any information on this matter. Please stay tuned for the official announcement, blah, blah, blah. So we apologize for any inconveniences caused. We seek your patience and kind understanding. So they're not telling us nothing. So I have a couple bullet points on a bullish theory, because I know that my last couple videos have been, kind of fuddish, but rightfully so because of everything that we've been going through. But I started asking, different kinds of questions, like, for instance, other coins or other exchanges, other projects that have had to delay listings. What are the reasons for that? And I came up with BitMEX, which, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this, but in the middle part of the year, so July 12th, this article came out and it says BitMEX delays, their listing, citing market conditions. Crypto exchange said trading will be rescheduled when the market improves. We made the decision to postpone the listing of BMEX token on our spot exchange. The reason is quite simple. Although we are ready to list BMEX, the present market conditions are not ideal, and we want to list the token in an environment that gives the best chance to reward you, its holders. So, citing market conditions, they weren't going to list because obviously, they didn't think it was a good time for them to list their token, right? So then found another one called Nano Dogecoin, whatever. So I'm not sure this was, great to begin with, but anyway, so they made the decision to migrate their smart contract, and which essentially just, migrating to a different smart contract. And it says this is great news in regards to the community, but also their alt-based listing. So the team had recently placed a pause on sales. So with good intentions at heart, so it says, but perhaps not with the desired effect. So essentially what they were doing is people were allowed to buy, but they weren't allowed to sell. Now, obviously that just looks really fishy for any project, but the reason they were doing it is they were trying to get the project to grow and grow and grow. And then once they reach, like, certain tiers and a market cap, let's say they reach like 500,000 market cap, or like a $1 million market cap, something like that. At those different levels, you'll be able to sell like a certain amount. So it's not out of this world. It's not, it's understandable and makes sense. But what they wound up doing is it says, despite having advantageous points to their product offering, including passive income strategies, token game online, yada, yada, it was purely marketed as an event to grow the market cap, with the ban being lifted with certain tiers of the market cap, like I said. But admirably, the team listened to feedback from the community and decided to do a full migration, as opposed to potentially muddying the waters with a pause and the potential honeypot accusations that it would have brought. So this token listened to their community and, lifted that sell, or that, pause on sell. So let's see here. Okay, what's another one? Okay, so this was Nano Dogecoin, and it did list. It did list, and it shot up. Probably like 500-600% from here. It looks like it listed around like, 0.000, so many zeros, one, and then up to 6. So Let's see what else. No sell rule, yada yada. Listen to investors, blah blah blah. Okay, so my point is with Nano Dogecoin, kind of got mixed up there. How does that pertain to show payment? Well, maybe show payment, their smart contract, just wasn't up to par. Maybe they're having to make additional fixes, or I want to say changes, to the smart contract or whatever the case may be. Maybe they're just trying to make necessary changes in order to make it easier for us or make it easier for the listing. But we don't, really know. This is a bull case. I mean, I'm trying to kind of best I can here to help them out. But so as far as the show payment, delay, let's see here. What to expect to be listed. Okay. So they postponed the listing due to market conditions. Okay. And again, for the BitMEX listing in relation to show payment, if the market conditions in this situation are the Telegram chat. Now, the Telegram chat was obviously taken care of by the mods, but look at this. Says you will get amazing Telegram group admin or moderator, sorry, for the crypto project. So let's just say that the show payment mod team or development team hired these mods and they weren't great. Maybe these mods promised that they were the best and they could do this and do that, and they didn't put in the time. Maybe the show payment team, didn't spend a hell of a lot of money on these mods and they're just doing a bad job, which they have. They haven't really up until, they just posted a bunch of things in Telegram, today, once they stop the chat, saying like, success, hold, patience will be rewarded, yada yada. And that's great and all, but where were you guys, when everybody was spreading FUD all over the place? Because once the FUD starts going, it's hard to stop. Everybody starts feeding off of it and it gets out of control. So we saw it with Tamadoes, but the mods were able to, shut that down real quick, and it worked out, pretty well. And they were, the mods were in there banning people, or not even just banning them, but just like trying to reassure people, not just banning, because that's, kind of suspect as well. But let's just say show payment hired a bunch of bad mods, and the mods just weren't doing a great job at, kind of being, in the right places at the right time to make sure they're just doing their jobs in general. I mean, come on. And so again, that would accumulate, bad rhetoric for FUD, and it made the Telegram, really bad. So that would be the market condition, the terrible market condition that show payment may not want to list in. So essentially, a bullish case here is they shut down the chat. And I got a message from somebody earlier, kind of explaining this as well. And this is kind of how I got the idea. But like, they shut down the chat because they just couldn't handle all the criticism and the FUD, and they thought it'd be a good idea to not list on Bitmart, because if they listed on Bitmart today, everybody would have sold. I guarantee anybody watching this video right now, and it's only one person. It'll be more later probably, but most of you, I want to say 90% of you, are probably going to sell just because of the rhetoric that we were seeing on Telegram, and it's just not good for them. So as far as market conditions, if from here on out, if we do list and they list in like 2 or 3 days or whatever, and the Telegram chat is shut, then maybe everybody will kind of cool down a little bit, and the mods will come in and start trying to do their jobs, and kind of flip the overall, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, just kind of flip the scene, flip it upside down, and flip it back to where it's supposed to be, at least on their side. And then we list, and we might not, want to sell. People might not want to sell. So let me go back here real quick. Sorry. Um, there we go. Exactly. Oh, what's up, Jason? So I hope you're doing well, buddy. And so look, Bitmart. Okay. Oh, and I did a little bit of research to try to figure out, again, on a bullish case, to figure out how much does it really cost to list on Bitmart. And this is kind of, I didn't really get like a straight answer, and I didn't ask Bitmart anything else because they haven't been any help. But there was somebody, this was 8 months ago. So, and somebody tried to list, on Bitmart. I don't know. It says RBIF. So anyway, they asked a question, what to expect when listing on Bitmart. Is it better to transfer the token to Bitmart? Is Bitmart going to buy a huge amount of our token and then sell it to the buyers on the platform? Any insights will be appreciated. So somebody commented and said, the reason why we made the move to list the token earlier than expected or earlier than what we wrote in the roadmap is to reassure our community that this project will not go away because of fudders. Due to the recent FUD, we made this move to reassure our community and also to prove fudders, wrongly. Let me see if I can help you guys better see that. Okay. We supply the liquidity and pay for the listing fee, which cost about six figures. So they paid six figures, over $100,000 to list and on Bitmart. So, and again, I understand that if Shopayment, really is a scam, and the developers and the managers, whatever, got away with a bunch of money, that six figures to them is literally, you know, drop in the bucket. But even still, if you're gonna go through the trouble to pay six figures to list on an exchange, then it makes me on a bull case makes me think, like, why would you go through that? Why would you go through all that craziness and have all these problems if you were just gonna dump anyway, or whatever the case may be? So I don't know everything about this, like, as far as, so I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what are the steps? How much does it cost? When they transfer the tokens over from, the Show Payment main wallet over to Bitmart, um, are they just transferring tokens, or are they actually, because there's no listing price, there's no price. So are they transferring those tokens over, at a set price of, like, value of 0.0024, or is it the listing price of 0.005? Like, I'm not entirely sure how all that works. So if yeah, none of these major exchanges are cheap. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I read articles earlier that some of these exchanges are charging people like $1 to $3 million just to list. Like Coinbase, or somebody wanted to list on Coinbase. I don't remember exactly what I was reading, but $1.1 to $3 million. Man, that's crazy. But in the grand scheme of things, the amount of money that they're making, in the long term, $1 to $3 million probably really, again, it's a drop in the bucket. But with this project that I read about here, I mean, if Show Payment, I mean, they kind of did, I guess. Due to recent FUD, we made this move to reassure our community and also prove the FUDers wrongly. So I didn't really look too far into this project. I didn't look them up on, uh, CoinMarketCap, or if they're still listed or whatever, if they're even still around. But point is six figures. Why go through all that, trouble and then not list? But the main question here is, you know, why isn't Bitmart listing them? And is it a bullish case in which we have a bunch of, FUD and uncertainty and stuff like that? So they shut down the chat. They want to let things cool down a little bit, and then list on Bitmart, when things are a little bit, cool down. But the weird thing is, again, and you guys have probably looked at this. I gotta pull it up actually. Nothing's changed on, token holder addresses or anything like that. Where's it at? Where's the contract? Because I can't. There we go. We're still at 650 addresses. The transfers have changed a little bit. The last transfer was an hour and 50 minutes ago, probably from somebody's wallet over to Bitmart. 10, 30,000. So token holders are still here for the wallet, which 156,000, sorry, 156 million. I would assume, would be enough. I was looking at the token distribution earlier, the tokenomics, and I think it was like 20% for liquidity. So I'm not sure if anything's going to be locked, but anyway, what else should I have here? I think that's pretty much it for the most part. I mean, that's like the best bullish case that I can make. Like, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I understand, like, what if it's just one guy? What if it's just not one guy, but what if it's just like a couple people, that got in way over their heads or something like that? But because the FUD, there was that the Telegram chat was straight FUD, straight uncertainty. Like, everybody was just talking mad craziness, and nobody. I personally, if I was a project owner, I wouldn't list. In that type of environment, I would not. I would do the same thing. I would shut down the chat. I would, scrap everything for a day, let everybody cool down, and then I would tell Bitmart, hey, go ahead and list. Here's my liquidity. Here's everything that we need, and then and then everybody would be like, "Oh my God, it's listed, blah, blah, blah." They open back the chat, and then, everything's all amazing again. So that's like the best case scenario, because again, if they would have listed today during all the craziness, FUD and everything going through the chat, it would have been a bloodbath. It would have went straight from here down to the floor. And as far as market conditions go, it's just not. It was a storm, a very bad storm. So, but let's see. Appreciate you covering this. Yeah, absolutely, man. for sure, for sure. I tried to figure out something just to give people, not trying to spread FUD all over the place, but it just doesn't look good. But again, if there's any possible way that maybe we're wrong, maybe there's a possibility that they're trying to do the best they can, they just aren't prepared, and they don't really know how to manage these projects. I mean, again, if you like I said in my last video, if you don't have a team and you put people in the wrong place, you don't have the money to kind of fund the team that you want to hire to, make the project great, or you don't hold your team accountable. And it's hard to hold a team accountable. You can build the best team, but if you can't hold them accountable and they mess up and stuff like that, and there's no incentive for them to, do well. I mean, what was it over here? $30. Where is my mouse? Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. Let me see. Okay. So $30 for 7 days. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I know that like overseas and stuff like that, $30 to some people is a lot. I have two accounts on Upwork. I'm a client and I'm a freelancer. So I know how much people pay for certain things. And overseas it's tends to be a lot cheaper than it would be in the US. So it's $30, for 7 days might be a lot for some people, but even still, $30 for 7 days, like, are they really gonna sit on the computer every single minute of every day and just like boom, 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 boom. Like, no FUD this, no FUD that. We're doing this, we're doing that. Like, you got to think that you have to. There's 10 comments every, you know, I don't know, 10 seconds, probably more sometimes. It just depends on who's in there and how much excitement is going on. So you just got to be there all day. So $30, for the whole entire. There's no way, man. It's just impossible. I really like to know how much Tamadoge spent on their mods because they were there like all day, every day for the most part. um, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I'm glad they took. I'm glad that they took that step, but it took them too long. Should have been shut down earlier. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's. I don't know if they knew. It's like one of those things where, again, if you don't have the team, because he hired people for this, he hired mods and stuff like that. So in his mind, he's probably like, they should be handling this. I shouldn't have to handle it. It is what it is. They've got it covered. And then he comes back and he's like, crap's hitting the fan and he doesn't know what to do. So he just, shuts everything down. He probably had to email, the people on Fiverr or Upwork a couple times and be like, what's going on? I thought you guys had this under control. And anybody in business can understand things from that aspect. And anybody from business who has like a small team or is just trying to start out a project is super stressed and has other things going on knows things can quickly fall through if things aren't tightly wound, tightly packed, and everybody's being held accountable. So let's get out of that. But all right. Well, I wanted to make this quick. Like I said, I'm not feeling too good. I had a hard day at work today, so I hope that whoever watches, I hope that kind of helps out a little bit. Give people a little bit of hope to figure out what's going on, and I guess we'll see what happens over the next couple days. I I really don't know what to think. Um, it just depends. But all right, Jason, and whoever else, I guess we will see you guys tomorrow. If anything changes, then yeah, I'll be back. We'll be back. Good luck, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye.